Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the PKM mod, which is being released by user Nova Finch. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the real-world PKM Machine Gun made by the Soviet Union back in the 60s, making this a fun, historic Cold War weapon that we now have access to here in the Commonwealth, and that's just fun. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what we do get with the PKM Machine Gun, which in its most basic and standard form will do 32 damage with a 7.62 by 54 round, with a firing rate of 225, range of 131, accuracy of 38, and a weight of 15. Not too bad there, and as you can see, this thing is gorgeous looking. Very much does look the part for a PKM. Very nice on the modeling and texturing on this thing, and this is the 2K version of the mod. There is a 4K version available if you would like even better texturing on this thing, which is pretty cool. Now, we do also have quite a lovely selection of modifications on here, including some really entertaining ones that very much put this in the realm of a fun Fallout wacky weapon, which I very much do enjoy. And overall, just a lot of good options though for making it how you're going to want it to be. And stat-wise, it's not too bad at all, which is, you know, just makes it all the better. Now, as for how you do get your hands on one of these lovely things, well, first and foremost, it is added into the leveled list, and you'll be able to find these things on the occasional gunner, raider, triggerman, and in stores. But if you don't want to wait to find one, you can literally go to any chemistry station in the world where you're now going to have a PKM category where you can make the new custom round in this, another one of the custom rounds for one of the various versions of the gun you can modify, and of course the machine gun itself, where for just some simple gears, screws, springs, steel, and wood, you can get yourself a wonderful new machine gun, which is very fun. Now, as for the modifications we do have on this thing, well, like I said, there's a pretty good selection of stuff, starting with the receiver category in here, where we go from the weathered old school one, which normally would be about 32 damage, but I have a number of different perks accessed right now to get some of the various modifications, like commando and rifleman, that have upped my personal base damage, but normally this would be around 32 damage without any perks. And then we've got a lot of just other cool, uniquely named receivers doing the usual thing of upping damage, fire rate, etc., with the most powerful one being the ZSU modification down here, which isn't too shabby. Now, then in the barrel category, we have the standard factory barrel that this thing comes with when you build it, but we can go down to a compact barrel or an emplacement barrel, which is 32 inches long. That is pretty impressive. And then in the magazine category, this is where we get some of the more interesting things here with this mod, because of course, well, yeah, you can stick with the custom 7.62 by 54 round at 100 or 200, or you can switch this thing up to 5.56 for 150 or 300, the other kind of 7.62 rounds in the game of 100 or 200, switch over to that 9.53 round in 90 or 180, or even go to my personal favorite, freaking shotgun rounds, where you can either have 75 or 115. The idea of just having a fully automatic shotgun machine gun is just awesome, and I have had a lot of fun with this particular one. Plus, it ups the damage quite a bit, drastically, of course, drastically reducing range and accuracy, but you know what? Worth it. Worth it. Now, next in the sight category, we have a lot of things. A whole load of different reflex sights for you to choose from. We even got different assault optics in here, and some more traditional scopes. So you've got a lot of good options in here, which you guys know me, I love sight options, so this is great to see. Now, I'm actually going to skip down a little bit from the sights category, because if you do choose any of the hollow sights in this, you can actually then customize the reticule style, where we have 9 different reticules for you to choose from, which is a pretty cool little feature. I actually really do like that. Again, just another way of customizing this to your personal liking. But if we head back on up, we then have the muzzle category, where we got the pretty typical stuff of, you know, standard flash hider, remove it all in general. We then have a number of different muzzle brakes here, and of course a number of fun suppressors, which a suppressor on a giant machine gun is weird, but I love that. Again, a very Fallout thing, and that's just entertaining. Now, next in the grip category, we only have 2 things, of either this old Bakelite one or a more modern Fab Defense pistol grip here. We then, after that, have the ability to change up the ammo beyond just the magazine that we had earlier. We can switch this out to add even more damage for like casted copper, aluminum core, hardened steel, fragmentation, frangible, all the way up to some very weird and Fallout things like toxic nerve agent, if you have a lot of gun nut and chemist, which makes it a pretty powerful gun and just so wonderfully weird that I very much do enjoy it. Now then, we have the handguard category, where we can either have nothing, we can have a US Marine Corps front grip, a NATO one, or a PMC tactical one there. Just some nice fun options. And then after that, we of course have that reticule style again, but more importantly, after that, the stock, where we've got, again, a lot of good options here of either the standard wooden, a nothing, and a variety of other more modern looking stocks. Not my favorite personally. Honestly, I like the fixed wooden the most for this old gun, but you can, if you so desire, go with one of these more modern things. And then we have the bipod, where you can either have the bipod up or down, or switch it out with a rail mount, which let's just add that on real quick, because then, after that, well, we have a new category that, there it is, it kind of goes up into the middle up here. There we are. We now have an accessory mount for flashlights, or laser sights, or combos of the 2. So very cool there. You can switch out that bipod again for something a little bit more modern, but very entertaining nonetheless. And then after that, we have finally the texturing options, where you can change up the paint scheme on this thing from the standard weather to a cleaned up version, woodland, boreal, forest, desert, snow, jungle, a more weird and wacky heat map, and finally a debug, which honestly I think this one's my favorite. I don't know why, but I like it. It's fun. But yeah, and that is all of our different modification options we do have on this thing. They are pretty great, and you can make some fun weapons for it, like this machine gun I made here with the debug paint scheme and the 9x whatever it was ammunition, or my personal favorite, the shotgun version, which again is just hilarious. I love the idea of a shotgun machine gun. It's just fun. Well, let's take a look at the standard version of the weapon first and take some shots. And there we go, the standard weapon with the standard box magazine, belt-fed animation, which is great. And I actually really do love the belt-fed animation. It is a custom one using an extended skeleton, so it actually, you know, is moving quite nicely there. And the gun itself controls pretty well for being a machine gun. It's quite easy to control. It does have a fair amount of kick if you're not really trying to control it, but it's honestly not too hard to keep this thing on target, which is always wonderful. Now let's take a look at the 9x53 version that I made here with one of the different reticules, just a standard sort of dot. I believe this is reticule 1, and a nice little hollow sight there. A little bit slower firing rate on this one, but it's got much better damage than the standard with the 9x, I keep forgetting what it is, the 9x53 ammunition there. But again, my personal favorite, the freaking shotgun, because wonderful. Just look at all that chaos. It has like 0 range, but it's just such a fun weapon to shoot. A lot harder to control, though, because there's just so much kick compared to the normal rounds. I mean, of course, it's a freaking shotgun machine gun. And that's just great. So let's get ourselves a Deathclaw in here, which normally I'm a little bit worried about fighting a Deathclaw because I typically suck at shooting. But I've actually fought a Deathclaw spawning one in with just the standard one, and just with the standard PKM, it's quite easily doable, even for me, someone who's not very good. So yeah, with the modified ones, it's even easier, and that's just wonderful. In fact, let's try and kill him without doing our usual cheese. Oh boy, oh, I got grabbed. That's not good. I should have done my usual cheese. Oh boy, why do I suck at fighting? Oh, run away. You know what we need to do? Die. That's what we're gonna do there. Wonderful. I fought one, like I said, I fought one earlier just with the standard one, but I, of course, kept him at range. Trying to do it with the shotgun one, that was my first time trying that, and just with the small range you have on that, yeah, I didn't fare well. But that's just me and my horrible skills. Let's actually go over to the more easily to kill him one with the 9x53, lovely, and spawn a new one, and go to our usual cheese spot. Okay, wonderful. Now you die. There we go. That was easier. Yeah, the shotgun one, maybe not the best for fighting a Deathclaw, because the short range, you've got to be up close and personal with him. But if you are just clearing out a building full of raiders, this shotgun one is just such an entertaining time to just kill everything in the room. And this is with just the standard rounds. I didn't even add anything like the explosive or the nerve agent. These are just the standard ones, which it makes it even more entertaining to me. But yeah, it's a fun weapon. The PKM is just an interesting machine gun, a wonderful new Cold War weapon for us to play with here in the Commonwealth, and just overall, a good time. So if you'd like to check out this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you have enjoyed and you come back for whatever mod we do look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, well, have a good one.